give myself away. I give myself away so you can use me. I give myself away.
I want to welcome everyone to the West African Hebrew Israelite, the hidden identity. Thank you so much for joining today's teachings. I know your life will never be the same. I bless the name of the Most High for your life. I thank the Most High for the opportunity that I've gotten to come and share his teachings each and every week or every day that he will give me the opportunity. I am so blessed. I see it as opportunity and blessing from on high. Without his help, I cannot do these teachings, and I really appreciate it. I thank the Most High. I can't stop thanking him because he have done a lot for us. I bless his holy name. I continue to worship his holy name. I adore him. Unto him be that glory, unto him be that praise and honor. I continue to say thank you to our new subscribers, everyone that took time and subscribed to our channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. It's not easy for one to stop and watch a video, a teachings, and again for them to go in depth and take their time and subscribe. So I really appreciate everyone that subscribed to our channel. From the bottom of my heart, I say Toda Rabbah. Thank you so much. Today our teachings will base on us we being the Hebrew Israelites, the West Africans. I'm not saying only the West Africans, that would be a lie, but the teachings that the Most High gave unto us is about we, the West Africans, we are the Hebrew Israelites. That's the revelation that he have given unto us, and we are the awakened remnant. Our history is in the Bible. Every letter of the Bible, every word of the Torah that the Most High wrote is about us. So as we are awakening, as we are being on our feet to embrace the truth or to receive the truth, a lot of things that is in the Torah or the word of the Most High, which is the Bible, we need to cover and understand it. At first, we tend to see the word afar, but now it's closer to us than we think. So we need to unveil the truth, and this very truth will set us free. Before we go on with our teachings, we are the covenant keeping people. The Most High Yah Elohim have a covenant with us. So when you read the book of Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8, it says, "But you, my servant Jacob or Jacob, whom I have chose, descendants of Abraham, my friend." So we are the descendants of Abraham. We are the children of the Most High. We are the Hebrew Israelites. You realize that we don't say Hebrews, then that's it. But the descendants of Abraham are the Hebrews. But the Hebrews, he chose Jacob children to be Israel, which is the name of Jacob is Israel. So the children of Israel became the descendants of the Most High, or the children of Most High, the chosen people. And he gave us the land of Israel. So the land of Israel is our homeland, the land that the Most High gave unto us. So today we are not doing the land of Israel. We will be doing the light, or the popular name for it is the Hanukkah, or the feast of dedication. So which name you chose to give this feast, whether the feast of light or the Hanukkah or the feast of dedication, is same thing. We will do the truth. We will do the truth behind the feast of dedication or the feast of light or the Hanukkah. But before then, we have something on the screen right now. You can see the lampstand. It is shows 7 lampstands. And when you read the book of Exodus chapter 25, from 31 going into details, as the Most High gave the instruction to our forefather Moshe to what he saw on the mountains, to bring this in depth or into details and make the shofar bread and make the lampstand and everything. This one is 7 branches, but the Hanukkah one is more than 7 branches. But the reason why this one is 7, the one on the screen is 7 branches, and the Hanukkah is more than 7 branches, we'll talk about it. But this is the original one that the Most High gave unto our forefathers to put in the temple for to light the candle, which is the priest, the son of Aaron, have to what, light this candle, and for the candle or the lampstand, golden lampstand, to give light 24/7 to the house of the Most High. This so unique. This light, if you study the Torah very well, you realize that the light is the Yeshua. He is the light, the lamp of the Most High, or the lamp of the light that give unto us the world. Yeshua is the light. He is the light. So even this one, it just stands for Yeshua. It is so unique. And you can study, you find a Ruha in this one. But we are not doing the 7, but we are doing the more than 7. So I just want to show you guys that this one is different from the one we see, because Moses gave instruction to Moshe that we have to have the 7 lampstand on the temple for to light a candle, which is the priesthood who will light a candle 24/7. So that's what we are seeing right now. Let's go to the next one. This is the next one on the screen right now. It says the truth about Hanukkah. The truth about Hanukkah. So you can see this one is not 7 as you saw before, but this one is 9. This one is 9. Why 9? We'll go on and understand it. It's teaching. So I pray that you have time and wait. You understand it. Maybe you know more, but it's just the teachings that I've got opportunity to bring it to you guys. And you can see this one, and the one I show is the original description to details what the Most High gave unto our forefathers, which is Moshe and the rest. But the one you are seeing on the screen right now is like a tree with branches. Again, even the tree with branches will stand for, like when you read the John 15:5, he said, I am a tree and you are the branches. So that's even itself stand for Yeshua. So the Hanukkah, or the light, the feast of light, or the feast of dedication stand, or the menorah branches, anyone can choose any what or however you want to create the stand. I don't think it's a big deal. But the question is, do we have to, the awakening remnant, as we are coming to the faith, realizing that we are the people, do we have to celebrate Hanukkah? We are used to knowing the feast of the heathens or the Gentiles being celebrate this Christmas, and it will bring a lot of debt. Like you have to buy things and before you realize you are broke. But the question is, do we have to celebrate Hanukkah? Did our forefathers do celebrate Hanukkah? There was a unique story about the feast of dedication, or the feast of light. And when our forefathers kept this feast, so that means it's very important for them. There was a Dead Sea Scroll that they found, which is the original Bible that they found. They found in the Masada area, the Dead Sea Scroll, the Dead Sea area. So the name became the Dead Sea Scroll. This Bible that they found, everything is intact. They didn't take like Apocrypha from it. They didn't take this one from it. The name Apocrypha is like a fib or a lying story. But if it's a lying story, why do our forefathers have to keep everything together? So that is the question I'm asking. That is the question. There was something that is in the Apocrypha that they don't want us to know, or what? If this one is a fib or a lying story or a made up story or wrong story, why did Yeshua HaMashiach celebrate Hanukkah, or the feast of dedication, or the feast of light? We'll find out all the truth. We'll find out. So without waste much time, let's read the book of First Maccabee 1, First Maccabee, which is 1 Maccabee 4. We read from 1 up to the end. So let's read it.
1 Maccabees 4. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen, and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, to the end he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews, and smite them suddenly, and the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army which was at Emos, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas, and when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains, for said he, these fellows flee from us. But as soon as it was day, Judas shewed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, Fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day. That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel. Then the strangers lifted up their eyes, and saw them coming over against them.
As we are reading the Maccabees, you will realize that Maccabee 1 Maccabee 4, I will read from 1 up to the 12. These are the story that we need to be able to keep and understand it, that our forefathers fought for the righteousness of the law, or for the righteousness of the Most High. They fought. They refused. They will kill them, they will destroy them, but refuse for the Gentiles to come and take hold of the temple and destroy the temple and defy the temple and do wrong thing on the temple. So this is the story of Judah Maccabee and his brethren, that they have to stand and fought the heathen. And even the night, he said, remember how our fathers were delight in the Red Sea, deliver in the Red Sea, as Pharaoh and his army pursued them. So do not be afraid. Maccabee was encouraged them not to be afraid, for them to stand on their guard. So the feast of dedication or the feast of light is very, very important to our forefathers, that they stood on their guard and deliver the temple, deliver the will of the Father. We'll go on reading from the 13.
Of the camp to battle, but they that were with Judah sounded their trumpets. So they joined battle, and the heathen being discomfited fled into the plain. Howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword, for they pursued them unto Gazara, and unto the plains of Idumea, and Azotus, and Jamnia, so that there were slain of them upon 3,000 men. This done, Judas returned again with his host from pursuing them, and said to the people, Be not greedy of the spoil, inasmuch as there is a battle before us. And Gorgias and his host are here by us in the mountain, but stand ye now against our enemies, and overcome them, and after this ye may boldly take the spoils. As Judas was yet speaking these words, there appeared a part of them looking out of the mountain, who when they perceived that the Jews had put their host to flight and were burning the tents, for the smoke that was seen declared what was done. When therefore they perceived these things, they were sore afraid, and seeing also the host of Judas in the plain ready to fight, they fled every one into the land of strangers. Then Judas returned to spoil the tents, where they got much gold, and silver, and blue silk, and purple of the sea, and great riches. After this they went home, and sung a song of thanksgiving, and praised the Lord in heaven, because it is good, because his mercy endureth forever. Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day. Now all the strangers that had escaped came and told Lysias what had happened, who, when he heard thereof, was confounded and discouraged, because neither such things as he would were done unto Israel, nor such things as the king commanded him were come to pass. The next year therefore following Lysias gathered together 70,000 choice men of foot, and 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. So they came into Idumea, and pitched their tents at Bethsura, and Judas met them with 10,000 men.
As they pursue the heathen, the will of the Father, the Most High, came to pass, that the Judas and Judah Maccabee and his men or his brethren pursued them and destroyed them. And the victory, they won the victory. Even they got riches like jewels from their possession. But the most important thing, they came back and blessed the name of the Most High and worship the name of the Most High, because the Most High have what won the victory for them. So this is what they did, and the reason why, like, I want us to read the whole 1 Maccabee 4 is very important. It's a story that we don't touch. Even a lot of us, our Bibles or the book that will have the Torah or the Tanakh, the name that the heathens have given onto the, they say what, the Apocrypha is not there. Even some of us, we haven't come across even the Apocrypha, so we don't know the story. So that is the reason why we want us, we want you guys to what, read the Maccabee, or we are reading the whole story for you guys to know the story and realize that indeed our forefathers, they stood on their guard and fought for righteousness, for dedicating the house or the temple is very, very important. These days our temple will be our body. The temple will be our body, as the Yeshua said. So one need to dedicate themselves. It's not like a year. You can do it 6 months, 3 months, however, as the Aruha will lead you. But to dedicate yourself is very, very important. So I'm blessed by having these teachings. So let's continue reading.
And when he saw that mighty army, he prayed and said, Blessed art thou, O Savior of Israel, who didst quell the violence of the mighty man by the hand of thy servant David, and gavest the host of strangers into the hands of Jonathan the son of Saul, and his armor-bearer. Shut up this army in the hand of thy people Israel, and let them be confounded in their power and horsemen. Make them to be of no courage, and cause the boldness of their strength to fall away, and let them quake at their destruction. Cast them down with the sword of them that love thee, and let all those that know thy name praise thee with thanksgiving. So they joined battle, and there were slain of the host of Lysias about 5,000 men, even before them were they slain. Now when Lysias saw his army put to flight, and the manliness of Judah's soldiers, and how they were ready either to live or die valiantly, he went into Antiochia, and gathered together a company of strangers, and having made his army greater than it was, he purposed to come again into Judea. Then said Judas and his brethren, Behold, our enemies are discomfited, let us go up to cleanse and dedicate the sanctuary. Upon this all the host assembled themselves together, and went up into Mount Sion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned, and the gates burned up, and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest, or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priests' chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes, and made great lamentation, and cast ashes upon their heads, and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces, and blew an alarm with the trumpets, and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress, until he had cleansed the sanctuary. So he
When our forefathers and our foremothers came back, or forefathers, the women doesn't go to war, but our forefathers came back and realized that the heathens, the Gentiles have what defied the temple, the sanctuary, they defile it and what destroy the priest stuff and everything. They what cry unto the Most High. They put ashes and what cry and rather their clothes, like that mean they are like angry or anguish, like taboo have come unto them. They were so mad. The temple keeping is very, very important these days. Yeah, the church is there, the synagogue is there, the temple is there, but we believe that again our body is the temple of the Most High. How are we cleansing this temple? A lot of us, we don't care about the temple. What any junk that is going on we don't care. We don't care. So as a child of God, your body as a temple is very, very important. When you defy it, you defy the temple of the Most High. It's not physical temple that is there, but what we are consuming to this body, this temple, is our heart. It's very, very important for us to clean our heart, daily repentance, reading the Torah, and praying. We can realize that as our forefathers were so mad that the temple was defiled, was messed up. What the Gentiles have what slaughter pigs or doing bad things in the temple, even having their own altar. So we have to watch it. That's the reason why I want us to listen to the story very well. It's not just the story. Find the Bible, read it, you will see it. So our temple, we need to keep this temple. Just stay away from all filthiness. Cleanse the temple. Pray for the Most High to what? Restore your temple, which is your heart and your body.
Those priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law, who cleansed the sanctuary, and bare out the defiled stones, altar of burnt offerings, which was profaned. They thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it, wherefore they pulled it down, and laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place, until there should come a prophet to shew what should be done with them. Then they took whole stones according to the law, and built a new altar according to the former, and made up the sanctuary, and the things that were within the temple, and hallowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick, and the altar of burnt offerings, and of incense, and the table. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple. Furthermore they set the loaves upon the table, and spread out the veils, and finished all the works which they had begun to make. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Calu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made. Look, at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that was it dedicated with songs, and citherns, and harps, and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshipping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise. They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away. Moreover Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained, that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 25th day of the month Calu, with mirth and gladness. At that time also they builded up the Mount Sion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Wow, they did this on the month of Kalu. That's the pronunciation. I hope I'm pronouncing it's right. Kasalo. I would say Kasalo, but the English is say Kalu. The most important is the month will be November, like ending of November to December. It depends how you chose this very month. Kaslu. But the most important thing is that the 25th day of the whether the November or the first week of December. The reason why they chose this like 9th month from the month of Abib. The Abib it fall between end of March to April. We can see this on the book of Exodus chapter 9, Exodus chapter 9, 22 to 23. But before then, let me stay here a minute and talk about what we read. They so unique as our forefathers were clean the temple and trash everything out and what built the new temple as the former it was. They build it and what they offer sacrifice and praise unto the Most High. They offer sacrifice and praise and worship the Most High. They is so unique. So one temple, which is the body, can be destroyed, can be filthy, but you have a right way of what praying with fasting and clean this temple, which is your body, and what we offer sacrifice of what praise unto the Most High. I believe heaven will rejoice. This is what our forefathers did, and what praising the Most High. Again, one have what right to what keep this feast, the feast of dedication, and the timings and the dates are different. People go by Mayan calendar or the Gregorian calendar or whatever calendar or the Egyptian calendar, different calendar. But I go by the Torah. I go by the word. The word of the Most High. I go by the Bible. So it's very, very important for one to check. And 1 Maccabee 4 as 60 no it's 50 no 60. As they cleared the temple, even the Gentiles couldn't stand their feet because what they saw, they are not allowing the Gentile to what for blaspheming the Most High, or just allow them to destroy the things of the Most High. I am overwhelmed, so I don't know what to say. It is so unique. Please, take the Bible, search and read, study it. Please, you'll be blessed. I know your life will never be the same. So I have a date and time to celebrate the Feast of Dedication, or the Feast of Light, or the Hanukkah. You can choose if you want to celebrate instead of Christmas, you can choose the right timing. Let the Holy Spirit lead you, which is Aruha, for you to choose the right time and dedicate yourself. Clean the temple. All the filthiness have to go. Dedicate yourself. Let's read the book of Exodus chapter 9:22.
To Moses, stretch your hands to the skies. Signal the hail to fall all over Egypt, on people and animals and crops exposed in the fields of Egypt. Moses lifted his staff to the skies, and God sent peals of thunder, and hail shot through with lightning strikes. God rained hail down on the land of Egypt. The hail came, hail and lightning, a fierce hailstorm. There had been nothing like it in Egypt in its entire history. The hail hit hard all over Egypt. Everything exposed out in the fields, people and animals and crops, was smashed. Even the trees in the fields were shattered. Except for Goshen, where the Israelites lived. There was no hail in Goshen. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron. He said, I've sinned for sure this time. God is in the right, and I and my people are in the wrong. Pray to God. We've had enough of God's thunder and hail. I'll let you go. The sooner you're out of here, the better. Moses said, as soon as I'm out of the city, I'll stretch out my arms to God. The thunder will stop and the hail end, so you'll know that the land is God's land. Still, I know that you and your servants have no respect for God. The flax and the barley were ruined, for they were just ripening, but the wheat and spelt weren't hurt. They ripened later. Moses...
The timing was so right. The reason why we read from 22 up to 32, this war happened between Pharaoh and Moshe. But there came a point that Bible gave a clue that what the flax and barley was what just springing forth all the seeds of this very plant, like the harvest time is not yet. So everything that was ruined by this particular boiling, sorry for my pronunciation, was not ready. But this plant or this seed of food come up. It's like wheat. So sorry for my pronunciation. It's Barley, harvest. The harvest of Berlin, as I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So it's the harvest time will be like in March, late March or March to April. So the month of Abib, when you read the Bible, it said the month of Abib was the first month that the Most High gave unto our forefathers, that this will be their first month, the first month. So Abib is the month of what? So it will be two. You can't say it's like only April, or you can't say it's only March. So it's in between because of the harvest time that the Bible is saying. So this is the clue that I can count and go back or go forward up to the time of the Feast of Dedication. And Abib is like it's Abib. So Abib or Aviv is the same thing. And when you use that word, it tells us that the time of the Most High giving, or the month, the first month, he didn't give our forefathers January or February, but he gave them the first month, which is Abib, will be the time they have to leave the land of Egypt, So that is the reason why I brought this Exodus 9:22 to 32 for us to read. So that's my calendar, that's my counting. You can pray for the Lord Most High to lead you, and you can start your own timing of the Feast of Dedication, or the month, or the day. But the day is the 25th of the month of Kaslu or Kalu. Again, you can do your own thing by searching. As you search, you pray. We have first picture on the screen right now is the picture of the menorah stand. You can see the first lightning. The first lightning. So as we read, we realize that the feast or the candle or the lights lighted for 8 days. So that is the reason why they using the same like lampstand or candle stand, because the first one was 7 as we show you, but this feast or the feast of dedication lights lighted for 8 days. So they change the stand instead of 7 to 9, because the 7 one you can't light in your individual houses. It's not a feast day. That one is the light that you light in the temple. But this one, because they rededicate the temple, they conquer the enemy or the Gentiles or the hidden and took the temple back for the Most High, for our people. So they decided to light the candle 8 days. So you can see this one on the screen. You have 4 branches on the left side, 4 on the right side, and the one on the middle, that will be the one candle to light the rest. So you can see the first day the candle was there, so they will light the one on the middle to light the rest from right to left, If anything worth, Yeshua is sitting down on the right side of the Most High anyway. So that one will be another teaching. So let's go on. So as you light the candle from the right to left, you realize that you light the first one, then the one you used to light, you put in the middle. Then let's see the next one. The next one, so now is the 8 days. You can see all the 8 candle will be lighting, as you can see on the screen right now. Then the last one will be in the middle. Let's do the last one in the middle. Okay, so this is what we have. Another picture showing the last one in the middle. So we have all the 9 candle. We have a happy Hanukkah. We have all the 9 candle in the middle. All the 9 candles, sorry. The one to light is in the middle. So all the 9 candle is showing. Again, the menorah branch, because it's individual houses, it's not the one in the temple like the original one. So you can have any design that you want. I believe any design that you want. And again, it's individual preference, individual choice to celebrate or not. So this is what we have on the screen right now. There's a question that we did ask. Did Yeshua HaMashiach celebrate Hanukkah or the Feast of Lights or the Feast of Dedication or not? Let's read the book of John 10, 20 to 22. 22 to 23. As I said, John 10, 22 to 23. And it was at Jerusalem, the Feast of Dedication, and it was winter. And Yeshua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. So at the Feast of Dedication, Yeshua went to the temple. It says it was winter. And remember, the season tends to change. Now, we can say November is winter, but by then, the weather will be different. So we say Yeshua walked in the temple in the Solomon porch. So as he walked there, then 24, then came the Jewish ruler about him, and what is trying to run and said unto him, how long does thee make as to doubt? They tried to put words in his mouth and trying to destroy him. You can read it. Just take your time and read it. But I'll end here with this teachings today. But Yeshua did celebrate Hanukkah or the Feast of Dedication or the Feast of Light. So we need to rededicate ourselves. It can be each year, each month, each day. That's individual preference. But Yeshua did celebrate the Feast of Hanukkah, the Feast of Light. I pray that this teachings has blessed you in any way. So if the teachings has blessed you you are okay with it, just give the thumbs up. Please, please let others hear about these teachings and subscribe. We are the chosen people. We are the people the Most High have chose. We need to awakening and come to the faith of the believing in the Most High, believing in Yeshua, believing that we are the people, the Hebrew Israelites are the descendants of the Most High, or the people that Most High chose, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or Israel. We are the people, not the other people that your eyes are seeing, but we are the people. Let's set the truth, and this very truth will set us free. As Yeshua said, you can read the book of Matthew chapter 6:33. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim and his righteousness, and all other things shall be added unto you. May Yahweh bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. I am so grateful for everyone that watches my videos and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for sharing the video. May Yahweh bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name. Shalom, everyone. Bye-bye.